broadcasting right now. It's broadcasting.
Yeah? Okay, so now we're also broadcasting on YouTube. So once the show starts, you can also go to YouTube and you can search our channel, which is Conservative Salsa, I believe, or Sonia Salsa S.
You want to watch the phone? See if
you
make sure that it's coming up. Nothing is no glitches in.
How does it look, George? Camera, George.
I don't see my brother.
Okay.
Move closer.
Okay. Let's see. Move back this way.
How about now?
How about now?
Get a little bit closer.
Might
have
to angle the phone a little bit.
Just maybe if we turn the phone.
Well, we tried that and it was
I can see you too, but I can't see him.
If I go like this?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, if you go like that, yeah.
How about me? Do you have any space over here?
You can just a little bit if you right here.
Let's move. We're gonna try all this.
We're moving this furniture around.
We're playing musical chairs here to get everything right.
Anyway, the show's gonna be on in 15 minutes, so
well, about 40 minutes.
Oh, 40 minutes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just a little bit more, let's say.
So we have
right
Cid.
there, right there.
We have Cid. We have Cid De La Fuente. We have Alice. We have myself. And if your YouTube alert came on, that means we're on YouTube live streaming. We fixed our little glitches that we had, and we're on Facebook. So it's going to be a great show. So don't miss it. In about, you said 40 minutes.
In about 40 minutes, we'll start right about 4 o'clock. We've got some new announcements also coming for the new year. And what we'd like you to do is, if you haven't liked our page, Chips, Lara, and Salsa Show, please like our page and also share this video so that way other people know that we're going to be on at 4 o'clock so they can come back and watch our show. Anything else, guys?
No, it's going to be a great show.
Okay, very good. Okay, so we're signing off. Bear with us because we're kind of doing things a little bit.
You'll see us on YouTube playing around here, but
appreciate it. Any feedback is good. I'm talking about you, Carolyn Leff. Okay, take care now. All right, we'll be back soon.
All right.
George's going to turn us off now. I like how we both wear red.
It looks good. It looks really good.
It looks good with the red.
Uh-huh.
We need to get George a red vest.
I was going to see if I could maybe turn it, angling the phone a little bit more, because we could just move it like that with the table.
Okay, so let's.
If you move it with the chair, we still have room on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah. Okay, how's that?
Well, we don't know because the phone.
Oh.
But what we can do is we can go to camera. See, I can't learn how to use my phone yet. Okay, so that's a shot. That's the camera shot angle.
Yeah, how's it right here?
Okay. Yeah, I'm the one at the end, so Alice, let's see. Go see.
Oh,
yeah,
right
you're perfect, Alex.
Okay.
And Cid and all in the middle.
Yeah, perfect.
We're good right there.
Now
And it's good right here?
Yeah, and it's good right there.
Okay, so we're still on YouTube, so don't say nothing bad.
Okay.
This one has my kitchen sink, which we don't need in there. We could do this like this.
This is behind the scenes on YouTube, people.
Get things ready.
Our show won't start for 30 some odd minutes.
That's good. You get that?
That's not
Okay.
Perfect.
Mics. Are we good on the
Perfect.
mics?
Yeah.
Mics in
No.
there? No?
That's
Okay.
good.
Alice, is this my water?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Let's try to get this junk out of here.
Do we want to use the music?
We can.
Yeah, that'd be good. But you'll have to put the phone like that over there.
Try not to
so
tip
we'll
the-
pick up on both of them.
You want a chair?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
A chair.
You sure?
Oh, I almost have it.
You're too picky.
I know I'm worse than you are. I think that's good enough.
That's good. Actually, I can even. Let's see, how's that coming out over there?
Coming out real good.
Can
So
I
it's
move,
good
give
there.
George more room? It's because he's like, okay. Can I give him more? Can I move?
Just about here.
Okay, I won't move that.
Well, we can move the phone a little bit if we need to. Go ahead and move, and let's see if we can.
This
adjust
is what's
the phone.
coming out on his
That's coming out okay.
YouTube.
Yeah, because here is coming out real good.
Is that coming out okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we could maybe just give you a little space and me a little.
Yeah, a little bit more space. That's what I'm saying.
And I
Let me
think
try.
by moving the chair just a little bit, angle the chair,
A little bit.
We're not.
Okay, a little bit.
Because you're like right here.
Yeah, yeah.
So try to get my hand and Alice's.
Okay. Let's see.
Check the.
Oh. Okay. Camera. There we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to grocery.
Yeah.
You have my permission.
Thank you.
Okay, what did I do? It went off. Alice?
I'm messing around with mine.
There you go. See them in health. Maybe on YouTube, get you right there.
Let me advertise my work.
Okay. So she's gonna have to come and get this. I don't know how her phone goes on. Do you?
No, she has to. Like mine, you have to do the code.
Yeah. Okay.
But when she comes, then we'll try to angle it again. Wow, we're at 6 views.
6 views
5
already?
likes already.
Ooh.
Great. On the YouTube?
On the
Facebook.
on the Facebook. There we go. Let's see. 8 views. It jumped up.
Good.
Yeah, I know the
Alice.
signals really important in this, George. The bathroom is this way and then to the left.
That we can. Okay, your phone went off. How does it go back on? I tried getting it back on. So.
No, it's this stupid new phone. Press this button here.
Oh, that one.
And
Okay.
then you need that.
The YouTube one.
Okay, so that's what's going on the. Oh, good. So the notice came up, George, that we're on YouTube. Are we still live on YouTube?
We're still live. We're recording on YouTube, and this is behind the scenes, people. So if you're watching on YouTube,
Okay.
we're going to start our newscast, our radio program, in about 20 minutes. So you can go and do what you have to do and come back. Or you can watch us act silly in the background. This is what we usually do before we get on the show.
Okay, there you go. You're barely getting in right now. It's delayed. Okay.
Yeah, so that's playing, so we know that's okay.
We're good. We're good.
Alright, so we can start.
You see what's going on?
Now sit over here.
But let me sit over here.
And then you can move the phone a little bit to see.
Because what we're trying to do is get George some more room. Can you see us?
You move the chair. You gotta move the chair, not the phone.
I'm trying to get it back up again because I touched it and it made the window little. Yeah, come on, baby. Come on.
She's playing with.
Well, it goes right where the bar is, and I can't touch it. That's what happens.
You gotta raise
Why
it
don't
up
you
a
make
little
it
more.
big?
No,
There you go.
Hang on.
That bar is pretty good. It's pretty tight. It opens up from the side.
You got it now?
Now it turned. I think I turned it off. Oh, here you are.
That's why she doesn't operate.
Here
the
you
board.
are.
That's why she doesn't operate the board.
Yes, Mr. Sideways.
This is.
I know.
For the
I
whole
really
show.
do. That's why I don't operate the board.
That's why we like an intern.
There you go.
Okay, so let's see.
You can move the chair. Just move the whole chair and see what comes out.
Yeah, see if he comes out. And you're over here, remember.
Okay, George, come look at this.
Do you get us off?
Is everybody in there?
Hold on, like you said, it's delayed. Yes, I see everybody.
Everybody. The whole everybody.
Whole enchilada.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whole
Cool.
enchilada.
You got room
Oh,
there?
enchilada, and I got room to move
Good.
forward.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
just move forward.
Good. Okay.
You can move a little bit more if you like.
I'm on top of this table. You know.
Well, no, right there, that's fine. There, that. Oh yeah, now it's a lot better.
Okay. You got us
A
all
lot
right.
better.
Okay.
What does that say?
Closeness.
You got us all. Okay.
Okay, we are almost ready, people.
We could start early.
Yeah, let's start.
You want to start early?
Yeah,
Okay,
we
now,
got people
are
on
we
YouTube.
broadcasting? We've got to broadcast from Facebook, though.
Huh?
We have to do a broadcast from Facebook on my phone. Because right now, all that's playing
It's YouTube.
is the YouTube.
Right, so you got to set it up.
Right. So we're going to do that. So do you want to do that now or wait till 4?
Well, I didn't know we had gone that early.
Well, this is just YouTube, like you say, because we're broadcasting on YouTube.
Well, we could do the YouTube thing.
Oh, we can go. What do you think?
Take a
You guys
break
think?
and then
Yeah.
hook up to Facebook.
You could?
Well, we're going to start the show right now, and then we're going to start it again. So, Alex, you're the one that starts it off. This is
Okay.
the Chips and Salsa show.
Welcome to the Chips and Salsa Show. I'm Alice Lara, and you know what? Look who's back. Don Jorge.
Hey.
You.
I was back last week, too. I was just in and out because I was doing the technical things that made you look sideways. We don't look sideways anymore. We couldn't get YouTube on because I had a glitch on the computer. But today, YouTube is working. So everybody listening on YouTube, this will be a regular feature, the YouTube, with our show. We figured out what I was doing wrong. And once we have our intern back, I don't have to do that. You know, it'll come. We'll have our intern or our special intern that knows what we're doing.
Are you
Today
listening
we
to
have
feedback, George?
Huh?
Do you hear feedback?
feedback. Testing.
No.
1, 2,
2, 3. 1, 2,
Okay, I
3.
thought I heard
We
feedback.
we got Cid here and Cid.
Hello.
Cid
How's
De
it
La
going?
Fuente is joining us from Kylo.
How you guys doing out there? How's everything going?
Conservative.
Glad to be back.
You
Glad to
see
be
a
up
sign
there.
up here behind me. And,
Glad to be here.
and it's a Hispanic organization started. You want to explain a little bit how you started that and how you're taking how it's growing and what the
I started Calo because Conservative American Latino organization for one specific reason. You have a lot of Latinos out there that have voices that are not being heard. They're not being heard, just like liberals and just like they say. The Latino voice is a force to be reckoned with. Now, the other thing is that Latinos have a voice, yes, but do we want that voice to be liberal? Like majority of Latinos growing up, I myself growing up, liberal, changed when I learned about conservative. I learned about and saw two sides to the story. That's why I started this organization, so that Latinos can understand we have more in common with the Republican Party, Conservative Party, than we do with liberals. That's especially when it comes to our religious beliefs. Okay, how can you stand a liberal when they don't even mention God in their own convention, or they boo when God is being said, or even in their convention, they don't have God whatsoever.
Well, let me interject here because what Cid is talking about is at one point the Democrat Party actually considered taking God off their platform,
Correct.
as well as the support of Israel.
Correct.
Scary.
It's scary. And as Latinos, we need to know and we need to get involved. And that's why I started this organization, Get Involved. And to get involved and to get educated so we know the process, that we know what politics is all about.
And I commend you. And Cid's organization is growing. This is the first show of the new year. Do you have your first meeting set up?
Our first meeting, what I'm looking for right now. Maybe you can help me out there. What I'm looking for is a place to hold a meeting along with an event. I'm going to team up hopefully with an apologetic person, hopefully, and I won't mention names. I think you know who. And because getting that involved together, and it goes hand in hand. I think it goes hand in hand. So I'm looking for a place that we can hold this event, and at the same time, get people to understand what's going on in the political party, and at the same time that they say religion should be separated from state. They kind of work hand in hand, in a sense. Okay?
Well, and I think that 2020 is around the corner. For all intents and purposes, the election has already started.
It started.
It's already started, the campaign anyway, and we are a force to be reckoned with because the Latino population. I still think that the majority of Latinos are probably not Republicans, but I know many Latinos who are Republicans.
Yes.
Some are maybe not Republicans, but they're conservative, and a lot of them are even independents. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. And it's just something that we have to. In my own personal experience, it was a mindset. It was changing the mindset of just believing that the Democrat Party, the liberals, had everything, and that they really cared for us, and they really cared for the minority person. But in reality, if you do your homework and research, they don't. That's why the Republicans have more involved with the Latinos than even the liberal.
And if you look at the platform of the Republican Party and you compare that to the culture, the basic culture. I mean,
yes.
Things are always changing. But of the Latino culture, you and I happen to be Mexican heritage. George is Puerto Rican.
Puerto Riqueño.
Boricua. But it's a very conservative. We're very family oriented. Most of us are Christian. Most of us are Catholic. A lot of us are Catholics.
Yeah.
And it always blows my mind. But like you say, but if you don't know and you've grown up in a culture where they've led you to believe that they are your party and they will take care of you, which that's another thing. We're not used to being taken care of. Our culture is work hard and take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself, for yourself. And that's where the Republican Party comes in, especially now with our president, Donald Trump, who believes in the individual, just like the Republican Party just believes in the individual. You take away the restrictions to the individual, which would be government, and let them explode. Look we just experienced it within, what were the latest job reports?
Nice.
That even means Latinos got even into this, and they came out helped out themselves. So it is some. And then another thing, it's like if I say, we talk about big government. I think us Latinos and a lot of Latinos know about big government, especially Hispanics, Latinos. We know about big government. We know what are some fleeing today? They're fleeing today because of war and torn, but then government that gets involved or doesn't do anything. But big government also that is taking and telling you what to do. So do you really want that to come here? Do you really want that?
That's why most of our ancestors, relatives left. They left the country because they wanted freedom.
Freedom.
Just last week, we had crew with us, College Republicans United, and actually another gentleman who is Republicans United. His family they were living in Italy and I think originally from Russia, and they had a choice of Australia or the United States. But they chose the United States because freedom. And liberty is stronger there. And that's what they want.
And if you've been to other countries, and it's not to diss other countries are nice and they're nice to go and visit. But I would not trade the United States for any country out there because some of them have lush green pastures. I mean, really nice pictures, castles, and a lot of good things. But if you put all of that together, if you go to different countries, you see different things. And it's like, oh, man, that is nice, and that's really nice. But you come to the United States, and we have everything here. If you go to all the states or visit some of the states, you see that we don't have castles, a lot of castles. We have a few castles. but we don't have monarchs. You know, we're not from monarchs and stuff. We are. We started this country as we came from England, and we didn't build castles when we came out here. And the homes out here, the the greenlands we have out here, the forest that we have out here, those are to be cherished. We have a great country, and I would not trade this country for any other country. It's nice to go visit and take a cruise and go to different countries and visit, but people come here for a reason. They come here because opportunity. You can grow your family. You can grow. You can make yourself anything you want to. You just have to have that dream, and you have to have a push behind you. And then you got to start at the bottom. A lot of people started with $12 in their pockets, and their families are mega families now, and their sons and daughters went into the armed forces, or they got jobs out here and went to school, and they didn't go into the armed forces, but they got jobs where they contributed to society. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a reason people want to come to the United States, and they keep wanting to come. There's opportunity like no other. You go to different countries and they all have little stipulations. Either communist countries, or they're totalitarian governments, or they're governments that they'll let you have a little bit, but you can't get too high, because then they'll put you down, because that's their country. They want to run it their way. This country, we have our freedoms. We have the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and there's people that want to take that away from us. We cannot let them do that. And as Latinos, we're a growing population, and we're Americans first. And that's what all your true Hispanics and Latinos that want to become part of our country, they believe in our country. They believe in our president. They believe in our country. And the ones that don't believe in our president believe in our country. So we have Hispanics and Latinos that are rising to the top. And that's why our show is so important, because we reach out to Hispanic, Latinos, to the conservative audience that listens to us. You don't have to be Hispanic or Latino. You just have to be conservative and believe in this country. And you don't have to be a Republican, but you have to be conservative. We would like you to become a Republican, because the stronger the Republican base, the stronger that we are. But we believe in our country and our Constitution, and that's what's so important. And a lot of Latinos do believe in our Constitution. They're swayed different ways by the liberal media and the liberal party.
And George, you said something really important. We've been doing this show. We're going into our 5th year with the Chips and Salsa show. And George and I used to be Democrats, but you were a Democrat also.
They're Democrat also.
And we're Republicans too. But it is very important. And the other thing that bothers me is many times you'll hear, especially on the media, they just paint us with a big broad brush. Hispanics, Latinos. And unfortunately, what's also included in there is they include the illegal population. And that's not really fair, because we are Americans. We're American Latinos. And it cheapens our citizenship when they do that. Yeah. And we can't do that. And we're big believers in immigration. We really are. The United States lets 1 million people immigrate to the United States a year. 1 million. Legally. That's legally.
That's through the door.
If you want to come here and be a U.S. citizen now, that's great. And you have stuff to offer, that's great. That's what we want. But that's the other thing that I see that we constantly fight. Because, Latinos think this. No, we really don't. We're not monolithic.
Monolithic. And that's why I named the organization American Latino, because we are Americans first. And a lot of Latinos and Hispanic, they understand that America is just like they say, a melting pot, for one, and two, where dreams can be made. Can you imagine? We're other country, and I think our president said this, and he believes in this. That's why he says, "Make America great again." because America is the beacon of light, the beacon of hope for other countries to see, to be around. There is no ands or buts. Even and we could go on for days talking about education about this, about America, but that's another story. But America, what other America can you have hopes and dreams? Dreams where if you want to be a Bill Gates, you want to be a Bill Gates, where are other opportunities? Where are you going to get that other opportunity to do that? Where are you going to be even millions of dollars with George Soros? Okay, we know that, yeah, but who he is. But where else can you what other country can you have the chance to get his money or to be like him or to even not be like him but have his wealth? Okay.
You just have to have that. You have to have that dream, and you have to be in a country like ours, and you have to have an idea. Bill Gates had that idea. He got the little first computer, and it evolved from a bedroom, and he's a mega millionaire. But he started small with an idea, and everybody has ideas. You can be a sports person and have an idea of creating a new kind of a football or a new kind of a baseball, and it develops from there. But of course, you have to have the idea. You have to have the knowledge of starting something from scratch and starting something new. Or you could start with a company and start at the bottom of the company and work your way up. A lot of people, a lot of Latinos have done that. A lot of minorities have done that, have started at the bottom of the companies, have worked all the way up to CEO of the company. They didn't invent the company, but they moved up. They just climbed the ladder. You know, an example, my son's in the armed forces. He's slowly moving up the ladder in the chain of command. You can do that. A regular person, a regular child, a teenager, your son, my daughter, anybody, or a daughter, could just go to boot camp, join the armed forces, and excel in the armed forces and study and take the classes that they have to take and start excelling in rank. And as you excel in rank, you separate yourself from the privates and then from the sergeants and then from the staff sergeants, and you keep climbing. And yeah, like my son says, it's more paperwork because he's a staff sergeant now and he's going for sergeant first class. But like he said, it's a lot of paperwork. He said the recruits and the enlisted personnel, the ones that first get in, they got it made. They just got to go to boot camp, and then after that, they're a private for a while, unless they want to start climbing the ladder and be a sergeant and a staff sergeant. Then the paperwork comes, and then the political stuff comes. I mean, it all happens, even if in a company. If you're in a company, you start climbing the ladder, you have more work to do. You have paperwork to do. You have people that you have to be supervising. And as you climb the ladder, you have more responsibilities. But that's what you chose to do, is climb up that ladder in a company. Everybody can do it. And this is a great country. And we have such great opportunities here. And the Latinos have such great opportunities to get in companies or to go in the armed forces or to join any kind of organization and just start at the bottom, work your way up. Or you can start at the top and work your way up if you start at the organization. And your organization is just at its infancy. It's going to grow. And as your organization grows, so will a lot of Hispanics and Latinos that join your organization and try to help each other and help the community from where they came from.
And let's talk more about your organization. How do people find out about it? And does it take money to join?
Right now, we're in its, just like you said, we're in the infancy right now. It doesn't take, it takes the will. What I tell people, it takes the will. If you want to become part of the organization, all it takes is will. It takes, what they say, ganas. Ganas to go and move and to bring out and be someone that is not afraid to go ahead and just speak out and talk. Because you're gonna run. I'm starting to run into some fierce battles already within character, also my character. But that's okay. That's okay because I believe in what I'm doing. I believe what I'm doing, and I believe in it, and I believe in this country. Going back also, and I love because I was part of the military also. I was a Marine. Is. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Veteran Marine.
Yeah.
Veteran Marine.
But again, like your son and all those veterans that are, can you understand what other country has a volunteer? Really, I don't know too many countries that have a volunteer military. These are volunteers, just as men and women in blue are first responders. They're volunteer. They this is a job that they volunteer for. It's not like China, Russia, communist countries where you're 18. You're military. No matter if you like it or not, you're military. You're going to learn military. You're going to do military. This isn't all volunteer. So how can I especially with people who don't respect our veterans? Oh, it just teased me off. Even those NFL players that are kneeling for the national anthem. Come on, who gave you? You understand? You have the right. Yes, okay, I understand. But who gave that right? That fallen soldier that's fighting, who volunteered to fight for this country, to fight for its rights, to fight mainly for its freedom. Okay, it's freedom. And yet to have someone when that flag is rolled out and the national anthem is playing, and to those that say, I hate this country, I don't want to be a part of this country. Come on.
A lot of that's for the news and stuff, because if you put them in a communist country, they'd cry. They would cry.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't be able to do that.
No.
They'd be put in jail.
Well, you look at the poor innocent family that I can't remember their name. Their son who went to China, and what did he do? All he did was rip down a poster or a flyer. And what? Unfortunately, they jailed him. And how, just that little example. It's sad that people don't see this, that they don't understand.
Well, Sid, I wanted to ask you too, because I don't follow football, but do we have kneelers in this season? What happened with that? Evidently, they figured out they shouldn't do that, right?
They've stopped doing the kneeling, and the NFL has started climbing in their
ratings.
In their ratings.
Then
but let me ask you this though. On that, I don't know, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't see. I see football from the beginning, but I know it was said that the national anthem they won't show it on TV.
Yeah, the news isn't covering that part.
Yeah.
So how do we know?
But they're not kneeling, by what I understand.
What are you saying?
People aren't kneeling.
Well, that's great.
The players aren't kneeling.
But I don't like the fact that they're not playing the national anthem, because that's always, that's the opener. That's
the opener.
It's Americana. Like baseball. When they do baseball, you see the national anthem being played.
They're still doing it on TV. They play for baseball, but not football.
Yeah, football, they decided not to play it because of the controversy of the kneeling. But when they stop doing that, they stop doing the kneeling.
Yeah.
So maybe if they start showing the national anthem again, you start getting some of the players kneeling again. Because they want to make a name for themselves on national TV. I think what they should do, the NFL should make a steadfast rule that anybody doing it, you're benched. Period. But that's up to the NFL. And,
it's just not the place to do that.
It's not the place.
Right now they're not showing it, so the NFL is starting to gain their ratings again. But who knows if they start showing the national anthem again? Because we do a good show, and at the beginning we bring in 350 volunteers just to hold the flag, and they practice outside. Then they take the flag inside and they drape that flag for the festival. They had that flag covering the whole field, and they rehearsed that, and it's such a beautiful thing to see, but you don't see it on national football. Like I don't know if they showed it on the Fiesta Bowl, because
I didn't get a chance to see that, so I didn't.
I don't know if they showed it on the Fiesta Bowl, because I wasn't inside the stadium, but I was outside. But I mean, these guys practice for a good hour out there with the flag.
Well, so now the Super Bowl is coming up soon, right? Are you
right.
going to play the national anthem then?
We'll see.
I mean, it is a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But there's others, not only them, there's others instances of just all around that people who just don't, for some reason or another, don't like America.
And see, the thing is, parents have kids and they say, man, my kid will never go in the Army. He'll never respect that. He'll never follow orders. My son wasn't following orders when he went in there. they tell him to do something, he would do something else. They called us and say, hey, I got about 3 weeks to go, and we tell him to do something, he's doing something else. But that was my son. My son just, we raised him, and he was, he never got in trouble, but he was always playing with Nintendo and stuff. He wasn't used to that regiment, strict orders, following orders. I got on the phone and talked to him, and he made boot camp. He graduated, and it was yes sir, yes ma'am. He changed completely. And after boot camp, you don't get that. You have to follow orders.
I didn't know they would do that. They called you as a
parent?
Yeah,
there was like six students.
Really?
And when we went to the graduation, they had T-shirts already made with the names of everybody in the platoon, and there were like 6 names crossed out. They never made it. My son, of course, was on there because he made it. But my son would have been one of those crossed out. Yeah. But they did say, if we do send him home and he doesn't graduate, it stays on his record because it's a contract he signed. Yeah. And it's official. It goes on his permanent record for the rest of his life. My son made it, and now he's a staff sergeant, and he's climbing.
He's climbing. That's great.
It's great.
That's a great
story. But it's good for parents to think that their sons or daughters can't make it. They will make it. My granddaughter, she was petite and everything. She went to the Coast Guard.
What's wrong with petite?
Yeah. Well, I thought she wasn't going to make it. I thought you had to be really, But she made it, and she's a chef in the Coast Guard. She just re-upped for another 6 years, and she's happily married. And she's not getting paid because she's a Coast Guard, and Trump cut their checks out. He didn't cut the checks. He just
they'll get paid, just not.
She's gonna get back pay. But her and her husband both are in the Coast Guard. They got 3 kids, 2 kids and 1 coming, and they live, like most families. But
that's fascinating. We talked about that last week. How they're a branch of service.
Yeah, that is
that we didn't know.
I didn't know that either.
They're under Homeland Security, so they don't. Their last check was last Friday, so they don't know if they're going to get a check. And they have 60 days that they have to work for 60 days after the government shutdown. Then if they don't get paid after those 60 days, they can go and get part-time jobs, and because their contract ends every 60 days if they don't get paid. So technically, both of them could get part-time jobs, and they can opt out for a little while the shutdown. But that's so sad to see because the Coast Guard is the needed armed services, and to see this happening. They do drug interdiction. They do life-saving out in the seas. They do a lot for this country.
You almost see them too, kind of like, we have the Border Patrol, obviously, down south. But the Coast Guard, that's in the water. That's almost like a kind of Border Patrol on the water.
If you have people from another country coming across the seas, that's when the Coast Guard interdicts them,
Cuba, from Cuba to Florida.
Yeah, from Cuba to Florida or the Haiti or all those other countries. But the Coast Guard is, they got gunships. They got everything that an armed forces would have. That's why they're a branch of the armed forces. For them not to get paid is sad. But what our president is doing with the shutdown, it's the Democrats' fault. $5 billion for a wall when it's costing hundreds of billions to house illegal aliens or immigrants. I'm Hispanic. I feel bad for Hispanics trying to cross the border, but you got to cross legally. All immigrants come to this country legally. And for him, if he didn't shut down the government, the wall would never get built. So
the last report is he said, we're going to do it. As long as it takes, because reporters keep asking him, well, how long are you going to do this?
Here's the thing on the shutdown, and I was just hearing on the news about this. The shutdown, you have the shutdown, and it's great that he's the president sticking to his guns. He's sticking to his guns about the wall, okay? Because you have, and they say there's migrant. What's shocking is because if you do your research, a few years ago you had President Obama when he was a senator, Nancy Pelosi, Schumer,
they were all
for a wall.
They made our Cucutazo list.
Yeah. Oh, did they? Okay. And they made it all for a wall.
And they were all about legal immigration is bad.
But you know what?
And President Clinton, in a speech you heard, actually said illegal aliens. He used that term, illegal aliens.
Yes.
And Cesar Chavez, he was for the migrant workers, but he wasn't for illegal migrant workers. And he preached that a lot because he fought for the rights of migrant workers that were here legally and other ones that came with work visas. But he was against the illegal crossing of aliens. And if you research Cesar Chavez, you'll find that out.
Correct.
And so was Clinton, so was Obama, so was Schumer, so all of them were saying the same thing, that the United States couldn't allow illegal aliens to come in and take legal aliens' jobs. And that our country needed to be protected. And so what happens? Now they change their tune. Now it's immoral to have a wall. Give me a break. It's only going to cost $5 billion, and he's getting money from other sources, but he needs that $5 billion to complete that wall.
And that's a drop in the bucket.
Compared to what we're paying for all the housing, to
education,
to welfare, because they automatically get welfare and they get food stamps. Folks, this is not. You don't have to be a brain science to figure out what Trump is doing is the correct thing. What the Democrats are doing is obstructionism, and they're doing it on purpose because they don't like him. Obstruction. Obstruction.
I heard brain science, and I just figured out he meant brain surgeon. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm behind.
Or brain science. Well, science.
Scientists.
But now you got me off.
I got you. I'm so sorry.
But
I'm so sorry. Well, you know what? This is a good time because it's almost 4 o'clock. So this is still the Chips and Salsa Show. What we're going to do is set up. We're going to keep broadcasting on YouTube.
Don't go away on YouTube because this is going to continue for like an hour and a half.
It's going to get interesting.
So if you want to talk some more about Carlo, I set it for Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, you can talk on
Facebook. And do that because we also broadcast from our Facebook page, Chips, Lara, and Salsa Show.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Carlo, if you need to, if you want to become and help out for Carlo, you can easily email me at Carlo, CALO, 2018 at gmail.com. Or you can go to our website, which is Ola, O-L-A, number 2, QUE.com. And on our website, I have a place there that says find out more information. And you can leave your email there, your email address. You will go in turn so you know it's a correct and it's the right email. You will get a response back to you, your email, to verify that you subscribe to Carlo and that you want to become and get more information. Okay? So you'll get an email back to verify your email address. And this way it's kind of like a safety issue. So you can go there. You can also go to our Facebook page under Conservative American Latino Organization, and you can leave your instant message me there and go from there. So there's plenty of ways. We will have other organizations, other ways of contacting. Right now, I plan to have our organization out of Phoenix, centralized, like kind of the central location. That's what I'm looking for, location central-wise in Phoenix, to have our meetings, to have our groups. Again, this is an organization that just started out not too long. We're brand new, even though we've been in the process. I've been in the process, seems like forever, but I've been in the process for roughly about 5-6 months now. So it'd be nice to get some membership. Membership is under construction right now. If you do the membership you get, I don't have it right now, but you'll get your shirt, a cap, and membership. And what's going to happen, I'm working on a scenario. If you become a member, you get some breaks as far as maybe on foods, a discount, or some places that will give you some discounts on that.
Is there a charge for the membership?
Membership, that's what I'm working on to see what's reasonable. I don't want to go too far out of hand. Right now, we're looking at we're looking at roughly around $30 membership fee
For the year?
for the whole year.
Well, that's not bad.
For the
That's
whole year.
reasonable.
Yeah, for the whole year.
He's having you get a little closer.
A little closer, then we get a little closer. Okay.
If you're watching us on Facebook, sorry, we're still
going.
on
We're
YouTube,
still
and we're just arranging the camera for Facebook. So bear with us.
Bear with us.
Thank you, Carolyn. I know Carolyn's always so good. She's always
Is that good?
watching out for us.
Okay.
Facebook, Alice. Thanks for talking to us because we don't know what's going on. We're just
going
checking things out here.
So
trying to see what's on my tablet, how we look.
But yeah, and Carlo will be, and not only Carlo, Phoenix, like to go ahead and bring it out to the surrounding areas, and eventually, Lord's willing, to go fully statewide and the whole country. So that's
what happened
on the agenda. So we hopefully will have that and get that going, and to give Latinos out a voice and educate them on the conservative movement, and to show them that they really do have more in common with the Republicans' conservative side than they do the liberal side. The other thing is that we know that we going to have. You have people say, "Well, we have illegals out there that are coming here to work, to get a better future. They're not all these criminals. They're not all this." Correct. There's probably some in there, maybe a majority even that want that. So we're going to set up. Carlos going to set up too, where we're going to give you a chance to become a member. If you become a member, we'll have a way of working. I have a gentleman that I'm working with immigration that would help them get their paperwork started and get it started the right way.
For citizenship.
For citizenship, to become and stay and to be illegal and to be a legal citizen. Okay. At the same point, I'm working on having a class, maybe a class that's a constant. If we're gonna help you, then at the same time you have to take a constitutional class. That you have to take a constitutional class and learn about the Constitution.
Isn't that available though? If they
It is available. It is available if they go through the becoming a citizen. But you have to really get your paperwork in line and get that in line. Sometimes they just tell you, here's a pamphlet, read it, and you're good to go.
So this would be just
this would just be to help them even more. You have some people out there that are doing the immigration process out there, and I've talked to a lot of Hispanics, a lot of people that they pay their money to some attorneys, or they pay some money to people to do their paperwork to get legal status, and then next thing you know, they're gone. They can't contact them. They can't get a hold of them.
Well, that's never talked about, is
it? And they can never get.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Some people are missing out to up to $5,000 or so that they process, and they're gone.
And maybe you can help us with that, because for a long time we've tried to get an immigration attorney to come on the show and explain, because that's a lot of it too. I don't know what the process is to become. All that I know as far as that are friends that it's taken them years and years and a lot of money to become a citizen. They already have a legal status in the country, but then just to go through the process. And that's why it's so unfair that someone can just walk across and get to stay here without a problem.
That's really irritates me, and I could say irritates us brothers, because my dad came over here legally. He went through the process. He had to go and take us sometimes over to the consulate, walk in, hey, I got a family. See, we're here legally. Do his paper consulate. Not only my dad, okay, but my grandfather too on my mom's side, okay, here legally with his green card, with his visa, had to do all that too. So they're here legally. They were here legally through the whole process that and it gets people mad to say, okay, come across, no problem, and we're going to give you this, even though it's illegal and you did a crime, we're gonna give you this, okay? We're gonna give you this, and we're gonna give you all this for free.
It's unfair. It's totally unfair.
It's totally unfair.
It's true. And just to let you know, so if you're watching us on Facebook now, this is the Chips and Salsa Show. I'm Alice Lara, and that you heard was Cid De La Fuente from CALO.
Hello again.
Conservative American Latino Organization. Of course, my partner in radio crime,
Don Jorge.
Making an entrance, rocking his headphones, his props. But we were talking, as you know, we were talking about the illegal immigration and all that stuff. We have a really good show. We're going to be here on Facebook for the next hour. Please go tell your friends, share this on your profile. So if you're watching us, what you do is just share and put on there and say, please watch the show and help these conservative Latinos, help these Republican Latinos. Okay. Oh, we got some stuff to read. Carolyn Leff says, my mom helped resettle. Oops. Just tap it. Okay. Help resettle Soviet Jews many years ago. She was ahead of the program. They all came to our country legally. And thank you, Carolyn. Carolyn Leff is really, you're always so wonderful. I know you watch our show. And we have great stories like that.
Right.
And you know what? Even if you use the argument, because you say, okay, you know what? A lot of immigration is part of our history. And it's not the same now as it was 20, 30 years ago, as we all know.
Yeah.
And, it used to be a lot of times they'd come across the border and they'd work for a little bit. But now what we did, the liberals changed the rules and they gave a lot of giveaways. Come and educate your children. Well, who wouldn't come? Yeah. Free education. Come and we'll take care of you. Maybe there's something wrong with you medically. Okay, Michael Scoble. What did I say? Michael Scoble. Why is now everyone complaining about government shutdown? Because of Trump. But no crying or anything when Obama did it. Yeah, it's a good question, right? Because it was Obama. Because Trump can do, you don't hear the good stuff Trump does. You don't hear that.
We were talking about that earlier, about the average person coming to America and doing something and making something of their life and really doing something grand, okay? Here is this president who did exactly that. Did
what he said he was going to do.
What
a novel concept for a politician.
He became a millionaire, billionaire with working hard. His children, he even put them at the top. They started from the bottom up. Okay. What better example of someone coming from the bottom up to make something? Now he's president. Okay. And I think that's what a lot has to do with this.
And he's not taking a salary.
Oh, yes.
And he's got built. He could be sitting in his penthouse.
Yes.
In one of his golf course homes, and doing nothing but watching Hillary Clinton. Bella complained about that. Hillary Clinton president. Just imagine that one. And he could have easily been doing that, but no. He's taking the slings and arrows of the liberals and the liberal media, and he's actually not even taking a salary, but he's doing it for our country. He believes in our country so well. That's why I think he's going to be the greatest president that we have ever seen.
It's possible.
We've ever had. After he pulls out the arrows they've been slinging at him and stuff. But he's going to prove, just like Reagan did, because people hated Reagan in the beginning, but he turned out to be the best president we ever had. And now even the Democrats say he was one of the best presidents we ever had. But it took him leaving office after they recognized that he was the best president we ever had. Trump will win the second term, and when he does, the liberal media's heads are going to explode. All the crazy Democrats' heads are going to explode. Nancy Pelosi's head would have already exploded.
It's already exploded because she's already a speaker.
And all these conspiracy people, they're going to realize that our president is one of the best presidents. He's doing it because he wants to help America. It's not for the money. If it was for the money, he'd be getting a salary like Obama got his salary. The Clintons got their salary.
And has he started a foundation like the Clintons?
Yeah.
He's giving the money to charity, and he picks different charities to give the money to. this is fantastic because, of course, he's going to stay rich. When he leaves office, he's still going to be Donald Trump and the Trump dynasty. Maybe his wife will be president, or his son. I don't know. That's way.
But yeah. But here's what more of a dream. But then I think that's what gets a lot of liberals, and not only liberals. There's some Republicans too, the establishment, pissed off because here's a man who didn't have no political golden spoon in his mouth. He really didn't deal with politics a lot. He just was a businessman that wrote books, real estate, a capitalist that made money. How can that be?
A friend of mine, because I really never followed Donald Trump that much before the election, and he was not my first candidate. He was not. Yeah. But a good friend of mine, she said, without reservation, she said, I was for Donald Trump because I used to watch, what was the show that he had?
The Apprentice.
The Apprentice. And what she liked about him is he never had a problem making a decision. No. He made a decision. And I didn't watch it.
And he gave him a chance. He gave him a chance to succeed to the projects he gave him. And the one that failed in the project was the one that was sent home until he only had one person left. And he is an expert at the art of the deal. And people, you should read his books. His books really,
Have you read that?
Not The Art of the Deal, but the other one that came on afterwards. And everything he predicted has come true.
Well, we were also talking before the show. There are so many things that he has actually done, but they're not covered by the media.
No.
They're not covered by the media.
No.
And we're going to get into, what we should do? We should do the cocotazo and the whole enchiladas because I don't want us to start talking and we forget about it.
Let's go.
And when we do, we kind of end up doing that. Okay. So, again, you are listening to the Chips and Salsa show. I'm Alice Lara with Don Jorge,
La Lacra,
and Cid De La Fuente with Carlo, conservative American Latino organization.
And it's not all in Spanish. In fact, it's hardly any of it's in Spanish, but we do throw a few Spanish words to kind of spice it up a little bit because we are Latinos.
There you go.
So we have a few Spanish words, and that's good because we'll say adios, that means goodbye. Hola means hello. We have so much that we communicate to our listeners too, and it's all English, and it's all our conservative friends, all our liberal. Not liberal friends.
Well,
we have a few.
We have a few. We don't like for liberals to watch our show. Comment. We love it. We engage.
And we have, we have a lot of people that are conservative minded. People that love the Constitution, love this country, and love what it stands for, loves our Bill of Rights. And yes, you might be on the other side, but deep inside, you have to love the Constitution. You have to love the Bill of Rights. Then there's the crazy ones, the socialists and the Marxists and all that. We don't speak for them. But
no, we don't.
We don't even address them. We do talk about them, but we don't address them as
the reason that we exist, we have had our show because we want to let you know that Latinos, we're not all Democrats. We're Mythbusters. Yeah. There are a lot of Latinos, and I believe more and more that are becoming. If you go to Facebook and you do a search, there are all kinds of groups. And every day I keep meeting more and more Latinos. Now, maybe they're not all Republicans. They're conservative, but they're independent. But that's one of the reasons that we exist. So, George, talking about Spanish words, explain before we do the cocotazos. What is a cocotazo?
Cocotazo is when you say something stupid or do something stupid and you get hit in the back of your head like that. I was watching CSI. My wife watches it all the time. And,
sure.
And the supervisor for CSI, every time a couple of the guys say something stupid, he hits him in the back of his head. I go, that's a cocotazo. And they've been doing that for years. And but the cocotazo is what we used to call. What we used to get when
that's
we used
to Puerto Rican, by the way. It's not Mexican.
No.
Ours is a chanclazo.
Ours is a chanclazo.
The chanclazo. Well, you never see the guy in CSI throw his slipper at him. But he always hits him in the back of his head, and I go, he just hit the nose on the back of his head. That's a cocotazo because he said something stupid, and that's his way of. And they're not Latino or nothing, but it's funny when you watch it.
It's such a cool word. I came across it last year sometime. And I thought,
I had a
that
lot
is
of
a cool
cocotazos.
word.
I got a lot of cocotazos. I think I had the back of my head as a bump back there. From
Yeah.
all the cocotazos I got.
You have a misshapen head.
Yeah, I think it's from the cocotazos. And then we have what they call the whole enchilada. The cocotazo is when you say something stupid and do something stupid. The whole enchilada is when you do something good, and we recognize a certain person out of a bunch of different articles, and we of events, and we pick one certain event. We pick a handful, and we let our listeners decide which whole enchilada they like, which person did what event was the best to them. And so we have like a little contest.
So if you watch our Facebook page through the week, we do nominations. And you can nominate someone too.
Yeah, you can
Feel free
nominate
to do
anybody for a cocotazo or an enchilada.
a whole enchilada. So let's do the cocotazos first. Or what do you want to do first?
Cocotazo.
Cocotazos. Okay. So one of the first ones that's on there, and I think it's kind of like more recent ones, but we nominated Nicolette, and this is titled "Birth of a Democrat." And this lady's on the Dr. Phil show. She's a young lady, right? She's a young
I couldn't
lady.
believe it. She wanted her mom was going to give her a brand new car, but she
was used to having an allowance, and she was really mad because she said, I need my $2,500. And at the end, Dr. Phil's like, well, you need a job. No, and she started
crying because they said she needed to get a job because they spoiled her. I guess the parents had so much money and they gave her an allowance of $2,500, and they were going to stop. And no, and they're going to give her a brand new car, and she wanted $700,000.
Yeah, it wasn't nice enough, right? Now, I will say Rick Thomas, who's our friend from Crew, College Republicans United, he did write something there, and he said that was kind of a fake thing because they want to start their own reality show. So I don't know. I didn't check it out. But I believe that there are kids out there like that. I really do. There's mommy and daddy are taking care of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you
they
guys,
call
but
it,
I got
they
a
call
job.
it the birth of a. They call it the birth of a Democrat.
Birth of a Democrat. That's what we call that. So that's the first nomination. And what we do is we go through all of these, and then we choose who's the winner, who's the most extreme cocotazo.
Yeah.
So that's our selection number one. And you can always go back to our Facebook page and you can look these up because we have them on there. So number two, we have Chuck Schumer, and the title of this one is Old Chuck Sounds a Lot Like Trump.
Right, because what Schumer used to say was the same thing that Trump is saying now. The walls need to get built. Illegal aliens take jobs away from legal aliens. Everything that Trump is saying, and it doesn't make our country safer when illegal aliens are able to cross the border with no wall. Everything that Trump is saying now, Schumer said before. They played the recording, so he can't deny it. And Clinton said the same thing. Obama said the same thing. But this is Schumer because Schumer tried to make it seem like that Donald Trump, the president, will never get that money for that wall.
And you know what sticks in my head, and this isn't part of the cocotazo, but more recently, when Trump had Schumer and Pelosi in his office.
Oh, yeah.
And they were talking, and the whole time Schumer had his head down because he couldn't look at Trump. I mean, these guys, they're amazing. So that's our number two nomination. Chuck Schumer. Somebody said Chuck you the other day, and I just thought that was so funny, so I said it. Okay, so number three. Number three is House Democrats trying to restore funding for overseas abortions. Oh, my gosh. So evidently, there's a Trump policy.
Yeah.
Okay? Trump had an executive order. He signed an executive order that was banning U.S. aid to groups that provide or promote abortions overseas. In other words, our tax money, we don't want it to go to pay for abortions. Sounds logical. Sounds like a good thing.
Yeah.
But the Democrats are like, no, man, we got to restore that funding. So that's number three.
They figure, liberals figure, well, we're doing it here in the U.S., so why can't we do it overseas? Why can't we give them money? That's another thing. I don't understand how you can say you're a Catholic, Christian, religious person if you believe that an abortion
And you're okay with it.
and you're okay with it. So
I don't understand that.
I don't understand. Pelosi, she's
just
just
Catholic,
quoted.
right?
She's a Catholic, and they just had her on the news this morning stating that she was, and that because of this issue. But how can you be if you're for this and you're defending it?
She says the wall is immoral.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
But abortion's okay.
It's okay.
The Vatican has a wall. A lot of countries have. Obama has a wall. He just built a 10-foot wall around his house in Washington.
No, CNN said it was only 8
foot. No, it was 10 foot.
And you know what? We put that story on there, and right, that's not right. Well, yeah, I did put the correct one, but there is still a wall around where he lives.
And you put a wall around your property to protect your property. There's nothing wrong with that. The United States has its property, which is a border. Put a wall. If people are crossing like they're doing now and coming in caravans, invading our country, bringing drugs across our country.
Okay, but you're getting off track here, so finish this up so we can continue to go But he's right. All right, so let's go.
Okay.
You just get George, you wind him up, man. You wind him up, and that's okay. Okay, so number 4, it's still kind of an abortion thing, but Elizabeth Warren, your girlfriend, Pocahontas, right? Pocahontas or Pocahontas, whatever they call her. Elizabeth Warren compares abortion to getting your tonsils out. Do you guys had your tonsils out? Did you get your tonsils out when you were a kid?
Yeah. I don't even remember.
I was like 3. Did you get your tonsils out, George?
Baby.
And what I remember is I was little and I got to have ice cream. Right, it was a little operation.
Yeah.
That's like, she's number 4 Cocatazo nomination.
It's not like getting your tonsils out, that's for sure. A woman goes through a lot to get an abortion.
Well, what a mentality to be able to actually say that.
Well, she said she was Indian, so hey.
Yeah, I guess so.
She's just the way you making wild statements.
She's 1/10/24.
1/10 or something, or so. Yeah, I can't believe it. Yeah, it just blows. It just. You wonder sometimes how they can come up with this. Their logic of this.
Oh, but you know what else too? Yeah. You could have put on there too. Did you see her drinking a beer?
Oh yeah.
That happened this week too. So did you see it, George?
No.
So she is doing this video, which okay, you know what? You do that. You're running for office. People do that. And so she says, "Oh, wait a minute. I got to take a drink of. I think I'll have a beer or something like that." Did you see it, George?
Yeah.
No.
And she reaches back. She grabs. Did you see her actually drink that beer? Okay, I'm not a beer drinker. Okay, I mean I will drink beer, but I'm a wine drinker more than a beer. She kind of sucked on that bottle. She did not look like she was naturally taking a swig. Did you see it?
No, I saw it, but it did, like you said. I didn't see her like take a good swig of it. No, it's like just kissed it. Let's put it that way. Kissed it.
There you go.
And that's it. So
I mean, we could almost give her a double. You know, little play on words here for alcohol. But yeah, that's Elizabeth Warren. It's going to be a fun election year with her running.
Oh I can't wait to see who's coming in besides her on the liberal side, on the Democrat side.
Well, you got Biden, you got Bite Me Biden, you got pervert Biden, really.
And then you got the one gentleman that was running in Florida. They said he's supposedly the new face and the new for the liberal.
Beto also, they're looking at Beto.
Yeah.
Downtown in Phoenix, I don't know who is down there, but I work Park Central area, and there are stickers that are on the walk lights, and they always have like impeach Trump or whatever. And the new one now, they had a Beto for 2020 or something like that. Beto.
The Beto.
He's not Latino, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't think he is. I never did no research, to be honest with you.
Okay, so any other Cocatazos that we missed?
No, that's pretty much
it. That happened? George, you don't know of any?
I think the House Democrats need a big Cocatazo.
Yeah, they do.
Just for being
so obstructionist and bringing up all the impeachment crap and all this.
So we can give them another one, just for impeachment stuff. I did forget one. I'm sorry. Did you see the vape shop Cocatazo nominee?
No.
Okay, did you see it, George? Okay, and again, you can go to our Facebook site, Chips, Letter, N Salsa Show, and you can check these out. Okay, so this customer, walks into a vape shop, okay, and he's got a Trump t-shirt on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I remember, yeah.
I know. And the Trump hat.
And Trump hat, too.
Mm-hmm.
The guy in the store loses his mind.
He goes berserk.
He's like, F you, get out of my store. Oh my goodness gracious.
That guy is how I see the Democrat Party with all their nominations. Just going crazy. just going crazy with each other.
Oh, now you know what? You made me think. So that one you got to watch it because unbelievable. And the guy's recording the whole thing. But what about the other congresswoman who said?
Oh,
called
MF?
our Trump.
Bleep, bleep, bleep.
I can't even remember what's her name. I can't remember. She called.
She's a Muslim.
You're gonna do
Yeah.
One of the two
Muslim.
women that were elected.
And if she's Muslim, how is she not supposed to cuss? Is she?
I don't think so. I don't know.
She's in trouble. She's in trouble.
She's American.
She is. She's. Oh, she's American. That's why she can cuss.
Yeah.
So we had all kinds of cocotas. Okay, so now comes the time, guys. We have to vote. There's so many good ones and traumatic ones. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I like number 2.
You like number 2? Chuck Schumer?
Yeah, he sounds a lot like Trump.
That's a pretty good one. How about you, Sid? We got Nicolette. Yeah, that's Birth of a Democrat and Dr. Phil show. Chuck Schumer. The House Dems trying to restore funding for overseas abortions. Elizabeth Warren taking a swig of beer and comparing abortion to getting your tonsils out.
Right, that
the
one.
vape shop
I think
guy. You like her?
Warren,
You
yeah.
like Elizabeth Warren?
Compared to I take your tonsils out.
Murder. Now, me, man, I can't even pick. There's so many. There are so many. You know what? Chuck Schumer's good. I like your Elizabeth Warren. The vape shop guy, that was, incredible. But you know what? That's the vape shop guy in a way is not unusual because remember, it wasn't that long ago that what's her face, Maxine Waters was saying, go out there and confront these people. She was leading them on to do that. Man, and the woman that did our president with the MF word. Oh my gosh, that's powerful too. I tell you what though, I really like the House Democrats. They are so bold because this says everything about them and how they're going to operate. You're right, George. They're wanting to restore funding of abortions. They're bold. They're not going to stop there.
And they all vote in a block. It's not like one goes, no, I think I'm going to vote with the Republicans. No. They vote together because they know that Nancy Pelosi is going to cut them a new one if they vote with the Republicans. So all the Democrats always stick together. I was looking at the vote that they just submitted to the Senate, which was McConnell said is dead on arrival. There were 7 Republicans that voted yes with all the Democrats, and there was 190-something Republicans that voted no. Yeah. But there were 7 Republicans that voted for that bill. And
oh my gosh,
without the funding of the wall in it. And those Republicans should be called out. They should be they didn't have their names up there, but they just had 7 Republicans. And
you don't remember any of them, George?
They didn't have their names. It just says Republicans 7.
Oh, it didn't say.
No. But there's probably a site that you can go to and find out what the voting was.
A good site.
And that's what the Republicans need to do. Call out these other Republicans.
Yeah.
For being traitors to the Republican Party.
Well, was this a brand new vote, right?
Yeah, this was the vote the second day they got sworn in.
Yeah.
And it was with no funding at all to the wall. But all the other to get the bill to start to bring back the people to work.
Here we go. So several House Republicans broke with Trump and voted to pass 2 bills that would end government. Okay, I'm just kind of looking real quick and see if it will tell me a little bit.
We will mention their names
Representative.
Here. Yeah.
Representative Will Hurd, H-U-R-D, who represents the 23rd District in Texas.
In Texas.
He voted for both of those. He's a former CIA officer. Oh my goodness. So he's been an outspoken critic of the wall. Okay, here's another one. Call him out here.
Call him out.
Woo! Representative Brian Fitzpatrick of Pennsylvania's 1st District voted also. So he's from Pennsylvania.
They should never get elected again.
Representative John Katko, and that's spelled K-A-T-K-O. He's from New York. Okay, so 24th district, but still they're Republicans. So he identifies as a moderate Republican and is co-chair of the Moderate Tuesday Group Informal Caucus. He is opposed to Trump on several issues. Okay, here's another one. Representative Chris Smith of New Jersey voted for both.
Well, New Jersey
has said he supports Trump's wall, but interesting. Okay, and then we have Elise Stefanik of New York. She voted for both of them. She's criticized his border wall proposal. I don't think a wall is the best model, she said in 2017. But I do think we need to get serious about border security. Well, there's with chance, right?
When the Democrats all stick together, the Republicans, if you're a real Republican, you got to stick together. I don't care. This is something so important that party unity means a lot. Just because you live in New York or New Jersey, oh, well, the people won't vote for me. Then don't run again.
Or you know what? Before you vote, come down here. Come down to the border and talk to the ranchers and the farmers that are down here.
They're looking after their jobs, what they're doing. They're voting with the Democrats because they know that their people from New Jersey, from their district, want them to vote that way. But I would tell my people, you don't know what's going on. Go to California, go to Arizona, look at the border, look at the people crossing. I'm voting on party lines. You elected a Republican. You did not elect a Democrat. And that's
they're thinking, and you're right. They're thinking for them, not really their job, for themselves. They don't think about the country. They're not thinking about the country. They're thinking about their job. They're thinking about getting reelected.
That's why these people should be called out. Every time they do something like this, they should be called out.
And here's one more we're going to call out. Representative Fred Upton of Michigan's 6th District voted no.
Michigan.
But he did vote yes on the other one, H.R. 21. He was one of 8 Republicans to vote on the 21st of December against the stopgap funding measure that included money for Trump's proposed wall. The Hill says in the past he's advocated legislation that ties border security to ending family separations at the border and giving long-term stability to dreamers. He believes the wall is suitable in some, but not all, areas of the southern U.S. border. Okay, one more. Representative Greg Walden of Oregon. You can tell these states, right?
Yeah.
2nd District voted no and then yes on H.R. 21. His voting record usually matches up with Trump's views, according to 538. So something happened here that he voted. Now, check this out. Representative Peter King voted for H.R. 21, but against Resolution 1. He's against the shutdown, but for the wall. You give the president close to $5 billion to the wall. You give the Democrats DACA. King said, according to News 12. You set in motion a plan where as the border becomes more secure, the 11 million people who are here illegally can now get a status and perhaps work towards citizenship.
You can't send them all back home anyway. It's stupid to even say that.
Yeah.
You know, build a damn wall, handle the people that are here. We can't send 11, 12, 13 million Hispanics back across the border after they've been here 10 years, 15 years. It's impossible. What we have to do is make them legal, have them come out of the
if they're in good standing.
Here's the thing on that with DACA. This is what I don't understand too. Here's the Schumer, Pelosi, and all them. The Dreamers, DACA, and the Dreamers themselves. Okay, probably the majority. You tell them, and you say, if we give Trump his wall, President Trump the wall, they'll let you become legal and they'll give you a legal status.
He's already
Would you like that? Probably majority would say yeah.
He's already
but then do you have? They probably will, and they will. But here's where I'm saying, us as Latinos and Latinos, we think that a liberal are taking care of us. Okay, they're really out.
He's talking in general, not us Latinos.
That they're taking care of us. Okay, that I'm a Democrat and I'm a Hispanic Latino because they take care of us. Is that the case? They switched on a dime. They switched on a dime to you, the Dreamers, which is sad. They switched on a dime because.
I understand what you're saying.
Because why?
That would have been a good deal for them.
It would have been a great deal for them.
Because that would enable for them to stay here.
Yes.
But it wasn't good enough because what do the Democrats want? They need their vote.
A lot of it has to do too is that if you give the Dreamers their, make them legal, you have to make their families legal too, and then you're rewarding their families and other relatives of theirs to come over here and become citizens before other people that are.
You don't have to do that.
No. The law has to be done. If Trump does that with the Dreamers, with DACA, that there's a stipulation regarding the parents.
Well, and I think it can't even be that general because there's some kids that were born here and they don't know anything else. But there's others that came here when they're 15 or 16, and they're different cases.
Correct.
They're different cases, and
he said something like 80,000 that he was going to recognize. Yeah. But the Democrats didn't want to do it.
They didn't want to do it. So how can you say at a split of a dime, they switched. Just because they switched when they were talking about the wall, and now they wanted with Obama and all them. They were talking now they wanted the wall, and they talked about illegals, and now they don't want it. They don't want it. They were talking about dreamers and giving them the right to be here, the right to citizenship, the right to this. Now they don't want it. You see who's really like we were talking about those Republicans that just were for themselves. What do you think the liberals are for? Majority of them for themselves.
And that's what needs to be done. Go and do your research, as you say, and check that out. So it looks like we have a tie on the Cocotazos because we had so many good ones. Chuck Schumer, old Chuck sounds a lot like Trump. The House Dems trying to restore funding for overseas abortions. And then also Elizabeth Warren, that's George's girlfriend, Pocahontas, and doubting. She said that she compares abortion to getting your tonsils out and taking her swig of beer. Trying to. Okay, so those were the Cocotazos. So every week, we can make a whole show out of the Cocotazos. So now let's do the whole enchiladas.
So nobody won.
So nobody won. It was a tie. Unless you want to break the tie, George. You want to break the tie? Too much pressure?
What was
So the Chuck Schumer, old Chuck sounds a lot like Trump. That was one of them. The other one was House Democrats trying to restore funding for the overseas abortions. And the number 3 was Elizabeth Warren, George's girlfriend, comparing abortion to getting your tonsils.
that one? That's so.
You like that? Oh, so you win. Elizabeth Warren is the winner. She's the winner. I'm sorry. You said
I said we just
okay.
all of them we could just line it all up and just go down the road.
Oh yeah. We need for this new year coming in, we need to have some kind of more sound effects to do that. A big. I think that Jewel needs to have Homer Simpson going. No.
Yeah.
We have to come up with a good one. Okay, so let's go to the whole enchiladas. We had some whole enchiladas. One of them was I nominated Tom Fitton, and he's with Judicial Watch because he's going after it, man. And actually, I wish he had a show on Fox because he always has some good information. He is always going after stuff. And then the other one is GOP Representative Mo Brooks, why the Dems really want open borders, and it was what we just talked about because they want to change the voting electorate. Then the other one was the veterans, and what was it, 5 Legs? Did you see that one?
That one I didn't get a chance.
It was a veteran, the one that he had a whole controversy, I think, with Saturday Night Live where he had a patch.
Yeah, I heard about that.
He and some other veterans got 5 legs and 2 arms. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So those are some of the whole enchilada awards, which we always want to recognize people that do good things. We also want to, we should recognize the officer that just had his funeral today.
Yes.
That was killed in California.
California, right? Modesto. He was part of Modesto County, and Modesto County, that's not too far from where we grew up.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
And the gentleman was from Fiji. He was a legal naturalized citizen.
And his dream was to be a police officer. His dream was to be a police officer, and he succeeded. He did it.
He had a beautiful wife, beautiful child.
Yes, and to be taken away from
by an illegal
alien.
Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't. So I like to give him a whole enchilada because what a life cut short, and then they have the Christmas photo. It's heartbreaking. It didn't have to be. The guy shouldn't have been here.
It shouldn't, and so many are that way. So many others.
What is that? And we tried to get the gal on. I'm going to try again. The Remembrance Project. And what they do is they keep tabs on all that stuff.
Right. Well, it kind of reminds me, and we'll get through this, then I'll go and talk about the situation that I lived.
Well, I vote for him. Officer Singh. What's his name? I vote for him for the whole enchilada. Who do you vote for?
I'll go with that.
You go with that too, George? Okay, so in tribute, and George also, our studio audience agrees, is Officer Singh. So may he rest in peace. So along those, we're still on that topic. Go ahead with your story, sir.
Even we're talking about this, a life that was taken by an illegal alien, but there's also the smaller things too that that are not brought out. There's DUIs that are being created, DUIs and accidents that are being done Maybe it was a bad accident, put someone else in a wheelchair. They didn't die, but they're in a wheelchair. They're just, the reason I bring this up is because, here's why I bring it up. My wife, years back, about 2 years, this is like 5 years, 6 years now, when she was traveling to California to visit her dad, coming back home, I could be, honestly, my wife would the way that car was left, it didn't sink, and my son, who was little, was right in the back seat, was laying down in the back seat, and they got rear-ended. The traffic in that, we all know traffic in LA.
This is in California.
Yeah, this is California. Traffic, the slow stop, and almost going to a stop. She's coming to a stop. This driver's coming about 80 or more miles an hour. Finally realizes that the traffic is stopped.
Oh my gosh.
Veers off, still hits we had a Scion, hits the back, little car, hits the back of it. My son goes flying forward, my wife goes up, the whole back end is just crushed in. It just crushed.
Wow.
And flipped. My wife flipped around about 3 times. The lady fell over the car, flipped over onto the side of her car. And to make a long story short, she came out after they processed her. She was illegal.
And she was illegal. The woman driver.
The woman driver. No line.
Oh
no line. She had a line, but no line. She had a license.
On the freeway?
On the freeway.
Oh
no license. No insurance. Didn't have
no
insurance.
Nothing. So
Nothing.
you guys had to
We had to bear the
You couldn't sue her.
Couldn't sue
Did
her.
they deport her? Do you know?
Don't know. We deported her. I don't even know if they deported her because she had nothing whatsoever. But then couldn't do anything. So the burden lies on us.
How was your wife and?
Good. They're good. I thank God that everything came out okay with them. But that's just something. There's just not just lives being taken, but through illegal aliens. Through there's other small things that are being done too. There's small things that it's affects people. That affects the American people. Just and that's
you're absolutely right, and that's like the Remembrance Project does that. And she was on, I think her last name is Espinosa. She was on James T. Harris' show not that long ago, and I can't remember if it was her or somebody else that says it's all relative until it's your relative.
Yeah.
And then you have the perfect example. It happens to you. It's very personal.
So you think,
that happens, but it's not a big deal. Well, yeah, it is a big deal.
It is a big deal when it happens to you. Right now, a lot of people are out there. Well, yeah, a lot of liberals even are probably saying, yeah, they're coming here, and it's understandable because America is a beacon of hope, a beacon of light. It's prosperity. What other country's going to give you that?
Well, and here's the thing. I think it goes deeper too because it is a rule of law, and even something so simple as this. Okay, I walk across from my work, and I walk to the bank to make a deposit and so on. Okay. But I always wait for that walk signal. I won't, and a lot of people don't. The light rail's right there.
Yeah.
They jaywalk, right?
Yeah.
They go against it, whatever. But in my mind, I'm thinking, if I do that, first of all, I always think about some little kids watching me break the law.
Yeah.
They do that. Plus, it's very dangerous for one thing. People run red lights, and I've seen people almost hit. And I don't know if you know this, but a lady that I was talking to, I said, I'm going to wait. Somebody else just crossed, and we were waiting for it to turn for the walk signal. She says, I got a ticket. It was $140 for doing that.
Uh-huh.
And I'm telling you all this because, that's a kind of a minor thing, okay? You are breaking the law.
Yeah.
But people do it because they know they can get away with it.
Yeah.
They know they can get away with it. So when you keep doing that, and nobody's there watching, it just makes bigger and bigger things. Little kids see that, say, oh, you know what? An adult's doing it. I'm going to do it too.
I'm going to do it.
Do you think these kids crossing the border that the parents toss over the fence or put in front of the line, do you think they're going to be traumatized as they grow up? That their parents put them in the line of fire? Could you imagine going into war and putting kids and women in front of you so that you can be shielded?
Well, did you see the video too that was put up by the American Patriot Movement, and they filmed where they dropped all those guys off at the church illegally?
Oh,
church, and they were mostly men, and they were carrying kids. Gee, were they using those kids? What do you think?
It makes you wonder too, but it makes you wonder also. Is it that? I say that as a parent.
Do they really belong to
Do
them?
they really belong to them? Would you
Would you do that?
Would you do that to your son or daughter? Would you do that to
Apparently they would because they're doing it.
Yeah.
They may not some may not actually belong to them, but they're using them. I'll pay you some money. Let me take your kid. That way I'll have a better chance.
Yeah.
And your kid will have a better chance to become a citizen.
To become a citizen. So it's hard to understand that as a parent. It's hard to understand that you would go and put your kid up there and say.
And Latinos, Hispanics, our children are. I mean,
Typically very family oriented.
They're treasured. We don't let. I mean, we protect our children, and I know other families do with their, that aren't Hispanic, but the children are so innocent. I mean, you don't put children in a line of fire. You don't put them in the way of getting hurt before you. You stand in their way to protect them. And I'm seeing so much of this at the border. They're throwing them over the fence.
Yeah, or putting them under. Did you see
or
that
one? Putting them under the fence.
Putting them under the fence, going through that small space under the mud and all that. There, let's go.
This is ridiculous.
What is the latest about the caravan? Somebody was telling me that there's another caravan.
There might be another. The latest I've heard is there's another caravan that's coming.
From Honduras?
From Honduras and coming in. And here too, and our president said, okay, wait a minute. If I'm not mistaken, what I heard too is like, we're giving you money to stop this, but yet you're going to let it come. We're going to do something about that too. So, I think what the president...
Well, they heard us. Helicopters are coming. That is a helicopter.
I think too, this president has done, another thing that this president has done is that he's solving problems. He is a
problem solver. You're right.
See, we have not had a president, the last couple of presidents, and especially the last one, they don't want to take care of the problem. They want to just band-aid it, just put a band-aid on it, and then, okay, we'll let it go.
Obama what's that word? Exacerbated the problem.
Exasperated?
He was saying that Trayvon Martin, if he had a son, it would be like Trayvon Martin. Anytime there was a police shooting, he'd take the side of the person that got shot over our patrolman. There was a couple of cases where it was the patrolman's fault, but in 90% of the cases, they're doing their job. They're protecting the community.
Well, like you say, though,
and
to immediately
not
defend the police.
For the president right away not to defend the police, not to defend our country, saying our country has done a lot of evil things. Trump would never say that. If he did, he would explain it really thoroughly. But Obama was like forever putting our country down.
Well, I want to ask you guys.
Apology tour.
Trump, I think I heard that Trump said, if I could just say, here's the money, build the wall. So it could get to that point. Do you think that he would do that?
It wouldn't be his money, but it would be the money
he
that
could save. He could designate, say that.
He has money. It's called discretionary funds that are there, and he could use it whatever way he wants to. But he wants to do it the proper ways by going through Congress and getting it approved.
That's what he's trying to do now. But what I'm saying is, do you think he will go that way?
He would. I think if he has to, he would.
I think the latest too.
He is defending our country, and he is.
It is national security.
It is national security.
If he has to say it's national security, he'll do it. Yeah. He'll get it done. Trump will get it done, and whether they like it or not, he's going to get that wall built. Give him the money now. And,
I want to ask Sid this question because you're the military guy,
okay?
Most recent military guy. So someone made a comment about, well, you know what? They build a wall and big deal. It's not going to matter because that's just a waste of time and we have drones and stuff. And what's that going to do? I mean, so I'm asking you because you do have some military background. I don't have that.
The wall. You gotta understand, the walls is prevented. They say, they'll dig under it, they'll do it, cross over it, they'll do it. But it's a barrier. It's a barrier that is an obstacle. When you put an obstacle, I tell my kids, just kind of example. I tell my kids, you run into the wall in life. Okay, you run into a wall in life. You want to go through it. You want to go through it the right way. You want to go through it the way you can, the right way. The wall will settle everything. It's a barrier. You know, you see all the movies, the war movies, what do they have in front of them? What do they have in front of them? What do they put in front of them? What do they put around their base where they're out? They put walls. They put steel. They put a barrier. They put a barrier there to prevent people coming in, the enemy to get to your position. Okay. Same thing. Protection. A wall.
And they said 90% of the crossings of the crossers have decreased every time a wall is reinforced or built. And that is statistics. And
90%.
Yeah.
90%.
And they said that there are course areas where they just can cross right over. Yeah. Those are the ones they want to build a wall and then force them into the ports of entry.
Well, then you can put more guys down there. So if you have a wall, instead of having guys over here, then you can put them in that area. You know?
Yeah, a lot of them, I've heard that also said, just put more military down there. Put the guns out there. Put them. Yes, that's probably where prevent a lot. But you can't keep the military constantly there. They have other duties that they got to perform. Other duties they got to do. The whole problem is like I go back.
Billions that you're spending for that, you can build a wall.
You could build that wall. What is this? What is this?
And the Border Patrol is asking for the wall. Right?
Yeah, the Border Patrol, ISIS, the retired ISIS. The experts are saying yes, they're all for this wall. They're supporting Trump because they know a wall solves illegal immigration problem. They know it. They know that a wall will solve the immigration problem. Now, here's what they're saying. The liberals are saying. The liberals are saying we're talking about national security. We're giving money to get more night vision goggles, to get more drones, to get more. Okay,
that's supplements.
That's supplements. Okay, but majority of what you need is a wall. That solves the problem. The problem is illegal immigration. What's going to solve it? A wall.
Well, instead, also, isn't it true that where they have put a wall, as you just said, they have them in the San Diego area and other parts of Texas. And it has proven to be a bigger deterrent.
So they go to the other areas that don't have a wall.
Or that they could just, the farmland, like here in Arizona, where they could just tear down and poke it and cut through it. And, not cut through it, just tear it down with a foot and go under it. Throw the spline, whatever. They're so rusted, the wall is so rusted there that they just move it a little, break it, and they're over.
So I want to ask predictions. So this shutdown, what do you think? How long is it going to last? What do you think?
I think he'll leave it shut down as long as the Democrats. I have a feeling the Democrats are going to come up with a different solution. They're going to come up with maybe adding DACA to it. They're going to come up with wanting something in exchange. They want to make Trump look bad, but Trump is a master of the deal. He's not going to come out of it looking bad. Right now, he holds the cards because without his signature, they can't open the government, and that's why McConnell won't even bring it to the floor. The Democrats have to bring a bill that includes money for the wall. Now, how much? I'm hoping there's $5 billion. But if it goes to $4 billion, Trump might say, well, you know what? I can do it with $4 billion because I can get some more money out. Trump's going to make it work, and the Democrats are going to have to cave a little bit. Just saying that there is no money for the wall, it ain't happening. Because they can play that game, but, hey, they have to answer to these people without jobs, and the Democrats are going to be blamed for this. They have to be blamed for it because Trump is willing. The House already passed a bill. The Senate couldn't pass a bill. So he didn't have enough Republicans. Now we have enough Republicans. Now the House has to pass a bill and send it to the Senate so the Senate can pass it. So we'll see what happens.
What do you think, Sid?
I think it's going to take a while. It is going to take a while because the Democrats are so much, I wouldn't say greedy, but so much with pride that they don't want to give our President Trump, the satisfaction of winning. Okay, they don't want to give him the satisfaction of winning.
What I think is going to happen, they're going to let it go to the
We're
most.
talking to Sid.
Yeah.
You already had your
No,
chance. Give him a chance.
no, I think like George said, they're gonna go take it long. They're gonna take it a long time until they give up, until they get something that they want. Doc, on the other hand, I think they already brought it up and they didn't bite on it. They didn't bite on that. I think they want something that's gonna make them look
hero?
good, a hero also. Not only Trump, but them a hero. If you can give me something, liberals I think are thinking, Democrats are thinking, if you can give me something that I come out here smelling like a rose, but on the other hand, they just took this investigation of Russia collusion to give it 18 more months. So the Democrats may be waiting to see if they can find anything else and say we're going to get it to impeach them. We won't have to worry about giving them $5 billion for the wall. We're going to get them
And the
impeached.
impeachment focuses, you haven't really heard too much about that.
No.
They ain't going to impeach him. What's going to happen is they're going to go. He's going to be the president with the longest shutdown. That's going to go. Once the Democrats have that, let's say it's 29 days, it goes to 30 days or 35 days. The Democrats are going to say, okay, we won. He's already the president with the most amount of days with government shutdown. Then they're going to come up and they're going to start negotiating for real, and that's when they're going to. But they're going to, and then of course the president's going to say they're the ones that are blamed for the shutdown. So it's going to go back and forth. DACA, there's going to be something with DACA in there, but it's Trump's going to come out winning this one. The Democrats have to give in. If not, it's going to be a long shutdown, and I feel bad for our Coast Guard. That's mainly what I feel. The other ones were non-essential workers in the government. Maybe some of them don't even deserve to be even in Washington. They're that non-essential. But
what if we held the Congress people's salaries
That will get them.
until
I think that
freeze their wages.
Freeze their wages.
Freeze their wages.
I think if you
And
freeze
you'll
their
see.
wages,
If they get that done, boy,
They'll get it done the next day.
yeah, they'll freeze their. If you freeze their wages, congressmen and senators, yeah, I believe they'll do it.
We're down to our last few minutes, guys. I don't want to finish the show without mentioning that this week, George, it's time for Sid. Central Republican Women of Phoenix will be meeting on Wednesday. We've changed our night. We're meeting now the second Wednesday of the month. And our speaker will be Ray Chernenke. And Ray is running for the county chairmanship. So if you'd like to, go to crwop.org. Or if you want to make a reservation, just email Jan Webb. And that's reservations@crwop.org. We'd love to see you there. I think it's $25, and it's really a great meal. We meet over on 16th Street and Camelback. Nice central location. Maybe you guys are going to come. I don't know, but it will be a good meeting. Anything else you'd like to announce?
That Saturday, the 12th, I believe, is a county statutory meeting where all the county PCs come together and they vote for a new chairman. They vote for a new chairman, for new officers. And it should be pretty good. It should be very interesting. And anybody that knows that's a PC, we encourage you to attend.
And that's a precinct committeeman.
And it starts at 8 a.m. and until the officers are voted in.
We need to announce also what's happening with our show. We're going to do some changes up here. This will be our last live broadcast on Saturday. We are switching to Thursday evenings at 7 o'clock. So if you're looking for a live Chips and Salsa show, it's going to be Thursday at 7. And what we'll probably do is rebroadcast that show on Saturday.
So you'll see our show live on Thursday, but you'll be able to see it on Saturday at 4 p.m. We'll rebroadcast it the same way that we're doing it right now. And you'll see our show like if it was being broadcast on Saturday. Except that on Thursday, it's going to make it interesting. It's going to give us more exposure, more people viewing our show, and it's going to be a great. We're trying to expand our show into different things because we're going to be doing live broadcasts on some Saturdays. We'll go to events where we can broadcast live from that event as part of our show. on that Saturday, whereas we would have been sitting here doing the show. So it's going to be very good for all kinds of ways. And
we also, Cid has kind of an open invitation to our show, and he's just such a natural partner because of his organization. We hope that you can be on with us
I will
as
try
much
as much as possible. I will try to be on also.
So you're going to see a lot of Cid on our show. And there's big things coming for this year, 2019. We're going to, as we unfold these things, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Our listeners are going to be pleasantly surprised. And we're going to give you the best show that we can give you, the best conservative show this side of the Pecos.
And we want to also thank you. I mean, we start in a brand new year, 2019. We're starting our 5th year of doing this. And we thank all of our supporters out there, you chipsters that we like to call them. You guys have been great. We appreciate, keep spreading the word. Also spread the word about Carlo. You know, when it's ready to officially join, we're going to be members. George and I are going to be members.
Yeah, we're going to be members of Carlo.
We'd like to.
So we used to be members of Alra, and Alra has disappeared. This is the new Alra, Carlo, and we're going to make it so our people, the Hispanics, want to join this, and also you don't have to be Hispanic to join Carlo. And it's going to be a great organization. We're going to help the communities. We're going to, you know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Because you don't have to be Hispanic.
No, you don't. You don't have to be Hispanic. Like I said, you just got to be willing to go out and work and do a little bit of time of researching and looking up things. I just got one more thing to say. You can now you can find me also doing kind of like a podcast.
Oh, good.
Spreaker. I don't know if you've heard of Spreaker. Spreaker, S-P-R. It's kind of like Speaker, but it's Spreaker.com. If you go there and you look under Rattling Cid Gallo.
Rattling like a rattlesnake?
Like a rattlesnake?
Not rabbit.
Not rabbit, no.
Not
Rattling.
Rattling Republican?
Rattling Cid.
Rattling Cid.
Rattling Cid Gallo. C-A-L-O.
Is that an app that you have to load, or you just
you can go to the app. Nah, I'm getting it so that it can go eventually onto not YouTube, but also Apple Music and Apple.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Did you
and
start
iHeart.
it up already? Or?
It started. I have a couple of episodes, 2 episodes there.
So anytime I could go there and just say, I'll look at that, and I can listen to those.
And you look
podcasts.
at the, you look
Does
at
it cost any money?
No cost.
Because you know that's
no.
Republican animal.
Yeah.
We like
no money. That's why I did it there.
Yeah.
But I invite you there, and it's a great way too. That app, it lets you do a lot of things for free, for a good. They have a free that you can use, but it's great, and I do that when I can. I work from 8 to 5, so when I get a chance, and then I'm out doing other things promoting the organization. But when I can, I'll stop and do late at night a podcast show, and I'll start doing that.
And I'm glad you mentioned that too, because here's the thing: a lot of people are like, well, you need to do this, and you should do this and do that. And by the way, our incredible intern Arlene couldn't be with us today. Hopefully next week he'll be back. And our producer, Secret Sonia, is not here too, but always helps behind the scenes. But all of us work full time.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
It is. It's hard.
So we do the best we can. So we appreciate any support. We're always looking for interns. We're always looking for sponsors.
Yeah, we're always looking for help.
Whatever you can do. Maybe you can't do it monetarily, but maybe just you can help by just spreading the word. Say, you know what, listen to this show.
And our shows may go an hour and a half in the future, maybe up to 2 hours. We're expanding as we speak now, and we have no limits on our show, on our timelines. If we want to go 2 hours and we have 2 guests and we want to extend it for 2 hours, we will do that. So be prepared.
Good.
If you're watching our program and we tell you, we're going to go an extra half hour, be prepared, because it'll be a doozy of a program. Or if we go 2 hours, it'll be even more of a doozier.
And don't worry, like if you have to leave, because people are busy, lives are busy. You can always come back. That's a great thing about technology. Go back. You can listen to the podcast.
Exactly.
You can back
we're
listen to our show,
podcasters.
watch it.
So you can listen to the show if you can't spend that hour or half hour.
You find us on YouTube.
2 hours.
find us here. We'll post that. And please, during the week, check out our site, our Facebook site, Chips, Letter, and Salsa Show. What is yours? What is your site?
Our site is the Conservative American Latino Organization. You can find it at OLA2QUE.com.
And then, through the week, support us, put stuff on there, post whatever you got to go.
Yes.
And put whatever you got to do, and it's all good.
On that note, it's working together. It's all about working together. And I just want to shout out to you guys. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you.
Thank you.
You said
so a lot of things coming up, people. And we're going to try to do a lot of foundation work, too, with the Janet Jackson Foundation, with Damien Gosat Foundation.
Tailor Made Prep.
Tailor Made Prep.
The Tailor Made Prep. Those three organizations, we're going to really, really be involved with them.
Mission Restore Bronze, we got to get them back on too.
With the Janet Jackson Foundation, I'll be meeting with Janet Jackson regarding meeting with the Cardinals ownership and the Dodgers ownership, and trying to expand the kids, athletes mentoring to the kids. And then we have a summer camp that's going to be announced later with the Janet Jackson Foundation. It's called the Space Camp. And there's a couple other projects that they're working on. The foundation is growing, and so is the Damien Gosat Foundation. That one is growing. The Cardinals are involved in that, and so I believe the Dodgers might be involved in that one too. And it helps the kids. It brings them out of the streets. It gives them something to do during the summer. So stay tuned for more of that on our show, because we're going to have Janet Jackson here. We're going to have the people from the Damien Gosat Foundation here. We're going to have Thomas Pollock with Restoring Bronze.
Mission Restore Bronze.
Mission Restore Bronze.
Restoring the veteran headstones.
We're going to have
all kinds of stuff.
We're going to a lot of community work coming up in the future, and our program it's just going to keep getting better.
So thanks again for joining us. I know we got to go because I know Sid has to get out of here, so I got to pick up his wife, and we don't want Jessica to be mad at us. She helps us too. Okay, so please have a wonderful rest of the week. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year. That's right.
Thank you, George, for being our in-studio audience. And we will see you Thursday night, 7 p.m. here on Facebook and YouTube. Anything else, George?
Nope. We'll see you.
We'll see you.
Take care.
Take care.
Good night. Okay, so you shut that off, and I'll shut this off.
Let them know about
You want to shut the YouTube off?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Sean says, hi guys, is it freezing up for you too?
Was it freezing up for her?
Yeah, I guess it was. Indian Live, 17 comments. Well, we might. So this worked out okay.
This worked out good. It worked out good.
Yeah, it's convenient because we don't have any restrictions. Right?
Yeah.
Just we have the helicopter ones.
That was good the way you did it. I guess they're coming out for us.
And I walk outside and I hear, "Get back in the house! Get back in the house!" Like, oh my God! So I got back in and I called Jesus Aguilera. Like it was by his house, and said, "Oh my God!"